I'm Elle, and today we're going to be getting into a drama roundup. So let's begin. Stila Cosmetics created a massive controversy with the digital whiteface of a woman for their ironically well-named Little White Lies campaign. Do I mean blackface? Surprisingly, no. On Twitter, Temptalia caught Stila magically posting the same model with two entirely different skin tones on the Ulta website. She said, "Why does this appear to be the same photo but edited and used to represent two different skin tones? These actions just contribute to destroying trust with consumers while pandering to our desire for diversity." As you can see from the pictures side by side, that is definitely the same model. Naturally, it was presumed that Stila had used a white model and darkened her skin in Photoshop, but this is what Stila eventually had to say. "We apologise that an unapproved image which was not reflective of the brand or collection was recently featured. It was a creative mistake and we acknowledge it was a mistake on our part and should not have happened. The final campaign did include two models, images from the photo shoot above, which is what should have been released. Over the next few days we will be sharing a full range of images from the campaign that truly reflect what we stand for. As a brand, we support all ethnicities and skin tones to celebrate individual beauty and apologise if our creative was not as representative as such." With each of these tweets, Stila also included two sets of pictures of their models. The original link that Temptalia gave to Ulta now shows those two updated images instead. To me, this isn't a real apology. According to Stila, someone decided that instead of using the photographs taken of two models, they thought it would be a good idea to waste extra editing time to allegedly lighten a black model's photos. This isn't a creative mistake, but this weak attempt at an apology is a clever PR move. If Stila admitted that they had darkened a model's skin, there would have been a much greater uproar. But lightening a skin, that means that they can say, "Hey, well, at least we used a black model to begin with." If we take their explanation at face value, then this deliberate whitewashing of a black model is a horrendous act of anti-black racism that I just don't think is being properly acknowledged. Away from racism, Jacqueline Hill is the subject of a really interesting series on YouTube by an account called Truth Hurts, which was seemingly created because Here for the Tea and Tea Spills series on Jacqueline was cancelled after the first episode. There have been 3 episodes from Truth Hurts so far, and 2 days after the second episode, Jacqueline addressed them on Twitter. "I genuinely feel for the people who dedicate their time to try and bring me down, making up videos about me, trying to convince people I'm a liar, cheater, manipulator, sociopath, etc. Do they ever stop and look in the mirror and think, wow, maybe I've got issues too? All I'm saying is we all have issues. I sure know I do. That's why I go to therapy, so I can continue to become the best version of myself. Working on yourself leads to a much happier life rather than constantly pointing fingers at everyone else." Is this just about Truth Hurts, or does this also reference Here for the Tea and Tea Spills series? We can only guess. But what's most interesting to me is that Jacqueline doesn't actually deny any of the accusations against her. Instead, she admits that she has issues. That's a really strange kind of defense. As far as I read it, it seems as though she's using her mental health as a shield to any criticism, whilst carefully deflecting from the accusations. It's good wordplay, but it doesn't answer anything. In fact, if you read over the statement a few times, it sounds more like an admittance of guilt. Sure, there's the accusation that anyone that has big criticisms of her must have issues, which was quickly backtracked, but that's still Jacqueline stating that she has issues too, with no firm, "none of what's being said about me is true." It's definitely something for Jacqueline's critics to think about. Possibly the most talked about controversy this week has been Bretman Rock and his Colourpop collab allegedly copying Lemonhead LA. With Colourpop, Bretman has created a big set of makeup with 2 palettes, lip bundles and blushes, but it's the body glitter that's caused an uproar. For all the receipts leading up to this, I recommend that you watch Dustin Daly's video. Now, I can already hear each wannabe Varys out there saying, "But Elle, it's just body glitter. Lemonhead is being ridiculous." Lemonhead has already answered that question, and apparently it's not about the general kind of product. They replied to someone on Instagram also alleging that the brand Model's Own is guilty of the same theft as Colourpop. They said, "Model's Own stole ours too, including packaging, and sent to our entire PR list. They ordered as well. Not to be cocky, but we were in fact the first. Nobody had a product like this 3 years ago. Of course glitter hair gel existed, but our product is not like a gel, it's a paste. The glitter is coated in an adhesive. The easiest way to describe it is saying it's like a gel, which is why there are so many copycats that are glitter gels, but they don't have any coverage or the look of ours because they are mass manufactured. Another Instagram user then stated, "It's glitter gel. You could get it at toy stores. You have a great product, but the way you are handling this situation is sad. I'm pretty sure you're driving people away rather than letting your product speak for itself. You have definitely made the product better, so why not stay above the drama? This is just low and sad. As one who works in marketing and crisis communication, I can honestly say, don't sink to this level. You will lose more than you gain." Lemonhead responded, "My product isn't a glitter gel. That's the point I'm trying to make. It's a new medium that we did create. It's insane that major companies can steal from artists and creators. It happens all the time and it has to stop." Although there are a fair few comments that criticise Lemonhead as being unprofessional, if the accusations about both Model Zone and Colourpop are true, then it would make sense that Lemonhead's founder snapped. With a much smaller company, it would also make sense that social media receipts would go further than lawsuits with today's climate and their budget. Then again, Lemonhead's CEO Megan Duggan has been in some very hot water recently over a resurfaced image of her wearing a Make America Great Again hat. Although I can't find the actual picture itself, Megan Duggan personally confirmed that the image existed. On Reddit's Beauty Guru chatter, she responded, "That photo was posted on my private page 3 years ago as a joke with my dad and his buddies as they are conservative. I campaigned and volunteered for Bernie Sanders, although I don't speak out about my politics, as I think we are in a pretty toxic time right now. You could have always DM'd us and asked for a statement or explanation before trying to hurt me and my employees." If that's true, it's a joke in poor taste, but Lemonhead's current Instagram tagline contains "Making glitter great again since 2015, which obviously references Trump's Make America Great Again slogan. So, is this a campaign to discredit Megan Duggan and Lemonhead LA to hide this alleged copying? Or is Lemonhead stirring a non-issue to bury any kind of connection between themselves and perceived support for Donald Trump? I genuinely couldn't tell you, but the timing could make either of those alleged conspiracy theories true. Finally, Thomas Halbert hasn't been quiet either. He decided to attack drama channels on Twitter. "Stop listening to drama channels to get your information about me when I literally overshare anyways. Y'all are getting biased or misconstrued information about me and it's just so exhausting. Just ask me, super simple. Even better, if you're a drama channel, just ask me. It's the fact that 17 Magazine and Cosmopolitan can reach out to me to get my perspective, but drama channels can't, lol." Someone else on Twitter then responded and asked him, "But would it all be truth? Not the best track record recently, Thomas." To which Thomas replied, "I've never lied. That's the crazy part." Never, Thomas? Do we really need to point out the "I grew up in a racist household" comment that suddenly turned into "I grew up in a household where racism was taught as wrong" comment this year? All right then. Of course, Thomas continued, "Y'all be punching people and then be mad when people punch y'all back, Lamau," referring to drama channels that were irritated by his statements. Dustin Daly replied, "Who's mad though? You're the one that got in your feelings as per usual. I genuinely asked a question and you went on the attack. Keep that Sam energy, sis. Why don't you snap back at other drama channels? Don't worry, I'll wait." When Dustin admitted that he hadn't known that Thomas had an email to contact and accepted that mistake, Thomas responded to a different person to say, "It's crazy, my email is everywhere. He's acting like Twitter is my only form of social media. My Instagram DMs are open too. He could also simply tweet, 'Thomas, what's your email? I'm trying to get in contact with you,' but he's just as lazy as the rest of them." Dustin Daly replied, "Thomas, you block people for remotely disagreeing with you, but I'm just supposed to tweet you and ask for your email and expect that you respond? Okay." Another person said, "I would love for Thomas to give a statement to Dustin, but will he allow Dustin to ask any questions? I'm all for giving people a chance to explain themselves, and I think Dustin should interview Thomas about what's been going on with him lately." Thomas replied to that person saying, "I literally have not declined one person. Anyone who's reached out, I've replied to always. Sad part is, almost no one reaches out. The only person who barely tries to reach out, even if she hates me, is here for the tea. No one else makes an effort, like ever. The irony here, of course, is that Dustin tried to have a conversation with Thomas in the open, but Thomas didn't respond to him. Instead, he chose to respond to other random people that were stuck right in the middle of them. Thomas did give us a final word of wisdom. Critical thinking works wonders. And that is true. It would be great if gurus were open about giving statements to drama channels, but that doesn't happen. As far as this scandal is concerned, though, nobody was asked for a statement. Not Thomas, not Jeffree Star, not Manny MUA, not Nikita Dragon, not Nikki Tutorials, not even Laura Lee was asked for a statement. Thomas is trying to paint a narrative that drama channels are against him, but he forgets that most drama channels either completely believed his original story, or at least stated that even though they wanted more concrete receipts about what he was saying, they were inclined to believe him. I have personally reached out to Thomas with some questions that I think we all have through the email address that he gave on Twitter, so time will tell as to whether he chooses to respond or not. We shall see. That's it for today's drama roundup though, so please leave your thoughts about all these stories in the comments. As always, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, or don't do any of those things because I'm not your mother. And, as we say in The Sims, dag dag!